All right, we are live. Looks like we are live. Just checking it out. 1 2 1 2. Let's send out this tweet here and tweet this out over here. Join me, Stadia Dosage channel live now. Oh, I can't even spell. Was somebody calling me? Somebody calling me? Clear the air. All right. Yo, 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 yo. Let me see. Let me mute this so I don't hear any mute tab. I got to go in here and check the stream, make sure everything is good. Everything looks good. Hey, what's up? LXIV, what's up, man? Saw you were streaming earlier. Checked you out for a little bit and then something popped up. Then I had this Tom Wharton stuff to deal with, but thank you for coming through. If you could do a huge favor, tweet this out too, good brother. Tweet this out so people are aware. All right, we are live. We are live. Let's go to the podcast. What's up, everybody? What is up? What is up? What is up? It is your boy, MM2K. Here with the pilot version of what I want to call the Stadia Stream Connect podcast, okay? I was boggling my mind all day on what I wanted to call the podcast. We're going to do this on a regular basis. Right now, it might just be bi-weekly because I got a lot of content that I go through. I still got my platform, the Hard Knock Digital Culture, that's out and about. And, you know, I got to start doing material for them too. But I want to keep the correct and factual information going as it relates to Stadia. So we're going to probably do this like bi-weekly. And then as I can get guests and other people that are familiar with the platform, you know what I mean? Like that's got to be the standard. Because after today, like I'm going to be honest with you. I'm doing this stream right now because I wanted to clear the air about some things. A lot of you guys that follow me and support me in regards to Stadia, I really appreciate it. But I get messaged in the DMs and I have people that talk to me behind the scenes and they're a little bit confused because even though they consider me fighting a good fight for Stadia, I don't have the largest platform. But the people that do follow me and that respond to my stuff through the MM2K account, there's a lot of misinformation. There's a lot of ignorance. There's a lot of silly stuff going on. And they're confused. They're like, hold on, you seem like you know your stuff, but how come you associate with people? You know what I'm saying? I get a lot of questions, more or less, right? So I wanted to explain my platform altogether. And then I'm going to spend just a little bit of time talking about that so we can clear the air and explain why, because of my platform in totality, why I had to work with others to create the Stadia Dosage platform, which is separate from that. And that's why I urge everybody, I appreciate everybody following me on MM2K and all my other platforms. But if you're looking for that straight Stadia news, I'm trying to concentrate that here on this channel. And in order for me to do that, I got to start off with at least 100 followers. If I can start off with at least 100 followers, that means that a lot of the options open up here on YouTube and I can start streaming directly and putting these videos here on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Because my community is diverse and I personally don't mind that. I love interacting with people, so I don't mind if you agree with me or not. But we are in a situation here where rightfully so, there are a lot of people that want to enjoy Stadia. They don't want to go through all the muck and the grime of this console war stuff, and I get that. But then they're intermingling with people that just are about console war stuff, and they don't know their facts, and they just want to talk smack. You know what I'm saying? And the two worlds are colliding, and it's causing a lot of confusion. So I want to clear the air, and hopefully Um, pronounce the brand properly, the MM2K brand properly, so you know where to go to get whatever it is you're looking for, right? Okay. So here's the thing. Like I said, me as an individual, my gaming tastes are, I like consoles, you know, I love PC, and a newfound love of mine is Stadia. Um, I do love Stadia because I'm a frame rate hog for the most part. I love frames, right? Um, Let me just give you a quick background. So I started this generation off a real big Xbox enthusiast, right? And as that Xbox enthusiast, um, you know, I heard a lot of stuff from people about Xbox that wasn't true. So I went to bat for them. That's what I do. When I hear falsehoods, I go to bat. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes I'll go to bat even when I don't care for the platform. I'm a real big stickler for facts and information. You said I was silent? Oh, I went silent? Uh-oh. Hold on. Yo, 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 yo. Can you hear me now? They said I went silent. Uh-oh. According to all my stuff, I'm good. Let me unmute tab. Yo, 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 yo. Can you hear me now? Okay, okay. I'm not silent. Mute tab. Okay, all right. So I'm good. I'm coming through. All right. So um, I started off this generation real big on Xbox. Right. There's a lot of falsehoods about Xbox. There was a big battle of the 180p. You know, Sony is so great because they have the extra 180p, and not all their games, in a lot of their games, more frequently than Microsoft. So they're the better box. And even though Microsoft started off the generation with a better lineup, people were ignorant of that. And a lot of that was Microsoft's fault, you know. But I'm a stickler for information, and I get it. I'm a stickler for facts. I get it. And a lot of people that I deal with are not. You know what I'm saying? They just want to do my favorite sports team type of arguing, right? And they stick with that sports team regardless of what's going on. So I find it ironic that I get called a blind follower of Stadia, where I started off my journey with Stadia. I was impressed by Project Stream, but I was like, streaming might be the future for my kids, but I would never, ever be interested in streaming. But then what ended up happening was I started testing Geforce, Nividia Geforce, and I was like, wow, this stream stuff is really serious. I really like the platform. And then I was like, well, if Nividia can be this good, you know what I'm saying, with my computer games, I wonder what Stadia is going to do. So I started informing people about cloud gaming. Nobody wanted to hear it because I deal with a lot of console war people, right? And they don't want to hear the facts or anything like that. They just, again, you're rooting for your favorite sports team. When you root for your favorite sports team, a liker of a different sports team, it don't matter what the facts are. You don't sit there and say, yeah, my team stuck it up this week. You always try to find some type of angle to counter argue the other person. It's a debate. That's basically what it is. It's void of following facts, and it's just about debating what you follow opposed to what somebody else follows, you know, regardless of what they're saying is right or wrong. So I was telling people about Nividia Geforce. I'm like, man, this cloud gaming stuff is straight. And I compared Nividia to what I had remembered of Project Stream, and I put Project Stream at third. I didn't expect Stadia to be that good. You know what I'm saying? And my investment in the Founders Edition was only for playtesting. You know, $130 isn't a lot to me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's not a penny, but it's not a lot to me. So to do $130 to get my hand on some play testing and involve myself in something that I could potentially like wasn't a big deal, right? Then I end up getting it, despite all of the stuff that they were talking at launch. I end up getting it, and it blew my mind because the performance was like stellar, right? The performance was a lot better than what I had expected. So then I really enjoyed it. But the launch lineup was weak. You know what I'm saying? But again, that's an easy fix. Opposed to Project Xcloud, where the whole infrastructure is just inferior. You know, that's not an easy fix, y'all. And according to various reports, which include IGN, Phil Spencer at XO19 admitted, he said Project Xcloud is going to be in beta for a very long time, you know. And I go back and forth all the time with fanboys, you know, of Xcloud. And when you had groups that I can't trust, like Digital Foundry, that tried to make it seem like that all around, like in every aspect of Project Xcloud is better than Stadia. They were running with those arguments, even though they were false, even though I knew better, because guess what? I had both platforms in my hand and I'm testing them out. And I'm telling you, the Project Xcloud was pretty much like the worst. You know what I'm saying? So you have all those factors in there. Me not really looking at myself as a cloud gamer, than me experiencing it and me saying, wow, I'm really shocked, to now it becoming my second preferred way to play behind the PC. I still love fidelity. I still love being able to get them 100 frames per second and all other stuff. I love that stuff, right? But I game on the go. Like, here's my normal day. In the mornings, I go get my coffee. I'll come back. I'll start producing material. You know, and then I'll game a little bit, and then I might do a show or two. And then my wife comes home. I'm chilling with her. She likes me to not be here in the studio, the man cave. She likes for me to be downstairs with her. She don't care what I'm doing, just as long as I'm downstairs with her to hear her fuss and all the other stuff, right? About her day. And what I used to do is, if I was in the middle of gaming, I would have to transport my game or start a new game, on a laptop or something. But then when I got the Nividia Geforce, I was able to play that on my Fire Stick. So then I would, start a new game, do my load, start the load up all over again on the Nividia thing and play it while I was downstairs. So she didn't mind that. But with Google Stadia, it makes that transition a lot more easier. The performance is better, and the visual fidelity is better. Is it a 1-for-1 match in fidelity for my console or my PC? No. But it's still pretty damn good. And I dropped a video earlier talking about us gauging these polygons and compute units and all this other stuff because Digital Foundry tells us so. You know what I'm saying? If the visuals that you see with your own eyeballs are great, you don't need somebody else to tell you if something's good or not. You don't need another man to taste your sandwich after you took a bite of it and tell you if you should like it or not. That's silly to me. You know what I'm saying? So even though they may say that 4K for a lot of Stadia games is up-res from 1440 or an 1880, who cares? I don't care. As long as it still looks very good, and as long as my performance is great, which again is astounding that the performance on a cloud-based system, my brother came in. I know I'm all over the place, but my brother came in. Unfortunately, we had a death in the family, right? My brother's a real big PC guy. He's always been in the PC. I got him into, when me and him were roommates for a few years, I got him into console gaming, but he's always floated back to PC. So he don't really mess with this console stuff, right? So it's a laughable thing to him. All right. So he's over at my house yesterday because we had a death in the family and we're trying to figure some things out. And I show him Stadia, right? I show him Stadia, and he wanted a buddy code, but he was like, nah, I don't really care. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, he's a PC guy, big time PC guy. And I showed him Stadia, and he was playing Ghost Recon Breakpoint. And he was astounded. He said, his mouth hit the floor. He said, dude, I can't believe the fidelity that I'm seeing right here. This is amazing. It's not my PC rig amazing. He said, but it's sure as hell better than a console. And because he's a PC guy, he said, I can see myself traveling with this. He says, like my brother lives in North Carolina. So he says, I can see myself traveling from North Carolina, being up here with you guys, not being able to carry my rig, but using something like Stadia. He said, $10 a month? That's nothing. I can play it on my phone. our family member that was up here that passed away. I was another big reason why cloud gaming was big for me was while they were hospitalized, I was going to be back and forth in the hospital, looking over their care and stuff like that. And that was another important reason why I wanted to have Stadia. So I did take Stadia over there with me one time. And the hospital didn't have the best Wi-Fi, but it still performed wonderfully. It was still an excellent performance, and it performed. And I had showed my brother, and I had showed his brother-in-law. Big up to Rich. Rich, I ain't forget about you, man. We're gonna get together. We're gonna get together and figure some things out. But I showed, it was me, my brother, and Rich. And we were, all looking at this thing. And I had Shadow, Nividia Geforce, and I had Xcloud, and I had Steam Link, and I had my Google Stadia on the phone. And they were wild with the aesthetics of Xcloud. But it's like, I can't play this. Shadow performance was good, but it took too much to get it to work. We really couldn't get it to work because it just wasn't that stable. Shadow is trash. I'm sorry. It's great if you need a powerful PC performance to the end user. If you're in dire need of that for whatever reason, then yeah, go ahead and pay the $25 a month. I know there's a lot of people that pay like high-end games and stuff like that, but Shadow has a lot of faults with it. But it performs better than Xcloud. Then it was Nividia Geforce. And again, Nividia Geforce has issues because you're trying to interact with the graphic user interface. But Stadia was so boom, 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 boom. It was so wonderful that my brother and his brother-in-law were like, wow, like, this is amazing. They're like, this is amazing. So, big ups to Stadia for that, man. The performance is great. It's just the lineup was messed up, and then that the lineup was kind of slow when the launch was messed up. Now, I will say this before I get into the kit and caboodle. Again, to explain my platform is because of my background, is full of a lot of console warriors, right? And when you're dealing with the console war, facts is not paramount. It just isn't. It's about giving L's, about receiving L's. It's not about the spreading of information. And I don't mind that. I have a background in debating, doing moot court competitions. I find the activity fun, but I get to where a lot of people don't. And there's a lot of people that when they want to get serious and want to talk factual, they don't want to hear all that bloviating and all that BS. And I'm like that sometimes. Like, sometimes I do get riled up and I get angry when I hear a bunch of falsehoods in my ear from people that I feel should know better. It angers me. It does. That's just how I am. Because I'm a stickler of facts. We can debate about whose opinion is more broad reaching or whatever. That's fine. We can have that opinion or that debate all day. But at the end of the day, facts are facts. And when you're dealing with the console war thing, facts are not key. It's all about who sounds better in making their argument. Okay. So, and being that that's my background, and then me now adopting the Stadia Dosage platform, unfortunately, there's a lot of those people that are not based in facts that want to follow, I like to, for lack of a better term, the idiot herd, the outrage culture. They want to belong. They want to be part of the stampede. They don't want to get stampeded on. Okay. Where I'm different. I've never been a follower in my entire life. Never. I've always spoke how I felt, regardless of what other people thought. I could care less what other people think. I don't need another grown man to bite my sandwich to tell me that it's good. You know what I'm saying? I've never been like that, and unfortunately, a lot of people are like that. And I'm not saying that I'm better than them. I'm just saying that's a component that I've never had. I've never had a component where I cared about people people's approval about what I like, because it's what I like, right? So, you got that dynamic, and you got me out there being vocal about Stadia. And then, of course, the whole console war dynamic comes into play, and you hear a lot of falsehood. So I said, you know what? However, by me being vocal about Stadia and trying to weed through just the people that want to do the console war stuff, and I wanted to speak facts, I've come across a multitude of Stadia gamers and Stadia people that love the platform. However, maybe it was a little disconcerting to them how they were being treated on social media. So what did they do? They did like the people on us, and they ran underground. they ran to Reddit. They got their own little wing on social media and all this other stuff, right? They don't come from the surface a lot. In comes me. I'm speaking a lot about Stadia. I'm speaking out on Stadia. So a lot of people are interacting with me. They're not interacting with me for the console war side. They're interacting with me because they're like, okay, here goes a fellow Stadia brother. You know what I'm saying? Welcome to the family. Here goes, come meet a lot of us, and you can meet more and more people as time goes on. And let's get the word out for people that may be interested. They have a complete and totally set of different ideas and notions than the console war people. Okay. But when I speak out, the console war people respond with ignorant information. So the Stadia people come back to me and they say, hold on, what's going on here? They're frustrated. Like I've had situations where people have debating the ignorance coming from the console war side, and then they're coming to me behind the scenes. They're like, "What? Who are these people?" And I got to be honest with you, my console war people. Again, I love getting into the muck and whatever. I grew up like that. I grew up having to defend myself verbally and all that, so it don't bother me. But I get to where it may not be for everybody. But despite all the console war stuff, I do have to admit, and I'm not saying this to placate one side or against the other, I have to admit I am embarrassed. I am embarrassed because what I do on my platform opposite of Stadia is that when I get to console war people in there, we'll talk stuff and we'll talk smack, but then when I sit down and I get into my bag, it's all about facts. Boom, 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 boom. You know what I'm saying? One after another. And then people come to me afterwards, I really like your platform. Now, I may not agree with your personal taste, but I like the fact that you put out that fact and that fact and that fact. And I may not agree with that personally. That may not be my bag, but I appreciate how you put your information out there because it's true. I get it all the time. So to hear people, and I can tell the difference between when people are doing straight console war babble and they're just trying to, talk smack. I can tell the difference between that and people that are adamant and emotionally invested in the wrong information that they're telling. And those people that fit into that latter category embarrass me. Whether they're an embarrassment to themselves or not, that's one thing. But they embarrass me. Because what they say is that even though MM2K has been doing the same thing since 2017, regardless of who thinks what, we want to act dumber than doorknobs out here. We want to be stupid. Like when you come out here and you put out Twitter feeds and you put out Twitch videos and you break it down the line, I'm going to tell you that I'm angry at your facts because of falsehoods that Digital Foundry told me because they have a bigger number next to their name. And in essence, what that tells me is contrary to what I've been telling y'all for the last 2 years, that don't be a fool, don't be a stickler for misinformation. Digital Foundry doesn't know you. Linus Text doesn't know you. Tom Warren doesn't know you. You are a statistic to them. You're an inch to a mean. They sit in meetings every day. Here's how many clicks we need to get this week or this period. And they go back to their cubicle and they say, how can I rile up the community to reach that goal? On the flip side of that, I know a lot of you guys personally, even though I may have not met you personally. And even though I get that some of you guys come from the console war side of things, I've been a stickler for facts since 2017. And whether you embarrass yourself or not, that's one thing. But I am embarrassed that because even though I've done over tens of thousands of hours of video and talking, or minutes maybe, I am old, maybe tens of thousands of hours of minutes, that it still hasn't sunken in. That point still hasn't sunken in. That you still prefer to be a catalyst to somebody that just looks at you like a metric. That just looks at you as a bottom line. And whether you're an embarrassment to yourself, it is embarrassing for me because it seems like I failed and I got to go back to the drawing board. But at the end of the day, it's pathetic, and I'm not going to own that. So understand, my Stadia people and my console war people, the reason why I have this platform. The Stadia platform, guys, for my Stadia Dosage people, are for those that want truthful information. They want, hey, I can't be fake about my feelings about something. So I'm going to give it to you straight cut. I am more positive than negative about the platform because I'm very surprised at its performance. There are a lot of things that got to be worked on. I've been very vocal about that on Twitter. I've been very vocal about that on various podcasts and various discussions that I've had. I've been very vocal about that in a few of my videos that I've had so far in the short time that I've started the platform. Help me help you. I want to separate the Stadia Dosage platform that's all about curating to people that only care about facts. Help this platform get to 100 followers. I can't duplicate myself 100 times and do that. So if you really appreciate my content and you really like to see that separation, then do that. Because to be honest, even though I just land-based my console war people, they've been supporting me for the last 2 years, so it's not going to be a thing of where I just completely throw them to the wayside and, you know, I just do Stadia Dosage. Because I don't mind doing both. Even though I'm embarrassed about some of the things that they've spewed, and not just joking around, but they were serious. I'm embarrassed about that. You guys got to help me help you. If you want me to keep up the good fight, I gotta reach 100 people at least on this platform. 100 people doesn't give me more money, but allows me to open this thing up so I can do more of this. I can do more straight videos. I can do a lot of things directly here. Okay, so that's my message to my Stadia platform people. To my console war people, I get it. You like to talk stuff. It's like your favorite sports team. You stick with them no matter what, whether your team stunk it up that week or not. With that being said, I am a stickler for facts and information. You guys know this. I've been doing this since 2017. If you don't like the fact that I am parsing factual information, I'm testing it out myself, I'm using hundreds of dollars of my own money, that only maybe, with the exception of maybe a few people have helped towards that effort, that nobody's helped towards, so I'm not benefiting from this financially. I'm doing this because it's the truth. If you don't like that, when you see Stadia, just ignore it. It's not for you. You're someone that is embedded and smack talking and doing it up for your favorite team. That's not what Stadia Dosage is about. So understand that. Understand that there are different worlds in this galaxy. Everything's not about console war. And my Stadia Dosage people, unfortunately, everything's not about facts. It is what it is. Okay? So hopefully everybody can understand that. Understand the when the worlds collide, as they say. And that's what we had demonstrated today. Now, that's just the community. Here's the bigger problem. All right, let me see if I can go here. Here is the bigger problem. You see this? Okay, that was my tweet that I just sent. I want y'all to look at this. This is your homeboy Tom Warren. Tom Warren from The Verge. Okay. So let me see if I can do this. All right. Let me go to the right place. Tom Warren from The Verge posted something earlier that, again, in all likelihood, oh, did he delete it? He must have deleted it. Oh, no, he didn't. Okay. So Tom Warren likely did something as a result of, again, those morning meetings. Hey, look. Here's our metrics. They're falling short. Nothing gets the people more riled up than what? Talking smack on Stadia. Let's look at Tom's average tweets. 137, 65, 47 likes. He got 328 likes for Game Pass, right? 107, 14, 117. He got 407 talking about Microsoft, right? But what was his second biggest set of likes? Was this one. We gave this falsehood about Stadia on this false metric. He said, is Stadia usage in the decline? It's hard to track it precisely, but Destiny 2 is the free title that comes with every sub. Overall population yesterday. And he shows where it's had growth on other platforms, but it dipped for Stadia. So here's the thing. And as you can see, it went up again. And as we all know, Stadia is the redheaded stepchild that people love to abuse. So again, you come out of a meeting, we're short on metrics. Here we go. Let's grab attention. Let's get people riled up. You can't track nothing precisely, but you're a major publication. What was the point of this tweet? It was idiotic. It was nothing short of idiotic. Because here's the thing. Unlike the other platforms, Stadia has suffered from a loss of, for a lack of a lineup. It has severely suffered from a lack of a lineup. So yesterday, of all days, when Borderlands comes out and Ghost Recon Breakpoint comes out, you gauge Stadia then? Come on, Tom. Come on. I'm just reading this now. I'm talking about doing due diligence. I didn't do my due diligence. It's even worse. He pulled this information from yesterday when the game that has one of the critical, well, I don't want to say critical, but one of the main talked about features of Stadia, which is the Stream Connect, when that was being advertised and that was being launched, he gauges this then. He gauges this then. No reference to that whatsoever. He knows this because Verge reported on it. Verge reported on this. They reported that these games were coming to Stadia. Their headliner was Stadia finally comes through on broken promises. They reported on this. So on the day that the biggest feature was out on a different game, and then you also had one of the biggest games of 2019 finally releasing on the platform, and it runs buttery smooth, baby. The day that two of the biggest games of the platform so far since launch are there, you then want to post this. You put nothing in perspective. You don't mention that nowhere. You did this for clicks. But here's the problem, jackass. Number one, we know that. And number two, you then go on the attack of somebody that just responded to you. And you post, hold on, let me see if I can find it. And then you post this silly tweet. Because in response to what you said, homie here, Jam, says, I don't understand what you're trying to prove. A platform that is essentially in beta and unnaturally costs to play it has less players than platforms nearing the end of their generation. Yes. I mean, that argument makes sense, whether you got a counter argument or not. But here's what he does. And he was not insulting at all. Stadia apologists always say it's essentially beta. So now he wants to get to the name calling, Stadia apologists. Oh, great. A beta that costs 130. So now he's shrewd or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But as we say on the console war side, we was on his ass. We was on his ass. Because here's what we responded to that here at Stadia Dosage. Breaking news. And Tom Warren of The Verge announces that the $10 a month top streaming tier for Stadia is no longer optional. Has it become mandatory with the service? We are waiting on clarification from Google Stadia if true. We will report more as information arrives. So if you want to go to the airwaves with your blue check mark, if you want to hit the masses and perpetrate this falsehood, then you got to own your words. And yes, we tag Google Stadia, so they're fully aware of the publications that are being misleading in the information about them. But guess what? I don't think Tom liked that. Tom didn't like that. Because what did Tom do? Let me see. What did Tom do? Tom did not like that at all. Let me scroll down here. Man, I've had a series of ridiculous tweets that I've had to respond to today. Man, oh man, oh man. Let me see here. Uh-oh. My apologies, y'all. I had it here. Thought I did. Because I retweeted it. See if I can find it. You go to my profile. Pretty sure it's there. Okay, here it goes. Oh, wow. When you're wrong, you're wrong. Just admit it and move on. Sheesh. And this was what I was referring to personally. We had to announce here on this platform that Stadia Dosage has received a block. Honestly, this was expected. Tom's hyperbolic tweet that received ire from the community was just plain wrong and should have never been sent. We tagged Google Stadia and informed them of the misinformation. I think Tom did not like that. And that's the truth. He didn't like it. So what did he do? He blocked us. He blocked us. And we'll wear that block with the badge of honor. And for those of you that are concerned, we are not aimed here to start throwing people off the cliffs and do stuff. We're not here to do that. We're here to spread the truth. But when you have a big following like Tom, right? When you have, how many people follow Tom Warren? Tom has 88,000 followers. Okay. When you have such a big following, it's predicated that you understand the importance of your words. Because what people do in this community is they look at your name, they look at your blue check mark. I mean, that stuff means something. And they know that. They look at your blue check mark, they look at the number next to your name, and they say, oh, well, this person has a big following. They've worked their way up the ladder to do that. They must have some type of integrity, or they must at the very least know what they're talking about. right? Right. That's the perception. So when you come out here and you bloviate like that and tell these falsehoods, then you got to be put to task for it. You have to own up to your words. Now, another thing that happens is because you have those blue check marks and you have those numbers next to your name, you develop groupies, right? You develop groupies. But before I go into the groupies, let me just retweet this out real quick. I want to make sure that everybody knows that we are live. Oh, whoop, I was right there. Everybody knows that we are live. Okay. So, I'm going to go back here. No, I need to go back twice. One more time. There we go. All right. So let's talk about the groupies. All right. So this guy right here, this person right here, I had said to Tom in response to a lot of, well, let's follow his tweets. Let's follow these tweets. And if you have any comments or questions in the chat, feel free to respond. Let me know. So he says that thing about Stadia apologists, and he calls the guy a name, which I find rather pathetic. And homie Duncan, who is a Stadia enthusiast as well, big up to Duncan, he said it's optional to $10 a month. It's very disingenuous. And he says it's not optional, right? So then I said, how is it not optional? Please explain. Doesn't respond. Because here's my history with Tom. Like, I don't have a deep history with him, and he probably doesn't even, well, he probably remembers me. But Tom has bloviated before, and I've had to check him. I'm real good at that. I like taking those people with those big numbers next to their name and bringing them down to our level, quote unquote, right? And reminding them that that number is just a superficial thing. It's just saying that a lot of people caught on to your BS in a lot of cases. Because we live in the era of the outrage culture. Right? So I've had to bring Tom down to size before. And maybe he remembers me, maybe he doesn't. I've done it like once or twice. So he doesn't respond to me. He only responds to people that he feels he can win the argument on. Right? Where I challenge everybody. That's a flaw of mine. And a lot of people say, you challenge too many people, MM2K. And he said, so this person tries this here, this groupie, this Simon Stewart person. Excuse me. They say, it's not optional because there's literally no other option right now. And again, this platform is predicated on truth and knowing what the hell you're talking about. So I respond, huh? That makes no sense. You can choose to only stream in the sub tier, and one of the sub tiers, to save more bandwidth as an option. Come on, man. Stop this. Stop. That's just one groupie. Now, here's the thread that embarrassed me. My homie Tom, my homie Duncan, one to escape, says Tom Warren has unrivaled hate towards Stadia. He does. Spreading complete untruths and false narratives. So David Jetta, who's a follower of my content, big ups to David. You know, I love everybody, whether I agree with them or not. But I am a little disheartened by this thread. Because it's one thing if you want to talk smack. Like if you want to get in there, Stadia's trash. You know, we hear it's laggy, or where's the 4K 60? That's fine. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead. Get your console war rocks off. I can roll with you there too. You know what I'm saying? We can have some fun. I know a lot of people like, you find that fun? Come on, man. Come on, MM2K. And again, like I said, I'm separating the brands, okay? I'm separating the brands. But I do find that stuff fun. You know what I'm saying? A little slapstick humor. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't mind it. But this is not what David was doing. David was serious in his ire for Stadia based upon non-truths. And I get this all the time in my DMs, and I don't mind them. And I engage everybody that does this. But come on, y'all. Now you're embarrassing me. Because you follow me. Y'all been following me for 2 years. In my 2 years of talking to y'all constantly, yelling at the mic, spitting all over my pop filter, y'all haven't learned yet to do your due diligence before you hit send? You haven't learned yet? Let me enlarge this. So the homie David says, I guess he meant to say nothing false though. The free service isn't available yet, so the only way to use the service is with the $10 per month subscription. First and foremost, let me say this. It's one thing to do console war battle and back and forth, where you're just doing banner. That's one thing. But to go out and have a debate with somebody over facts, if you haven't, look, gaming has so many opportunities for you to try stuff and for you to know stuff personally. So unless you're incapable, if you're an enthusiast of the genre and you're just incapable of playing games or incapable of getting this stuff, totally, but you still love the culture of gaming, unless you fit in that category, there is no excuse for one grown man to base his ire totally off the say-so of another grown man without any experience whatsoever. Being that David is on the internet, he has a web browser. He can download Google Chrome for free. Everywhere I turn, people are giving away buddy passes. David could have very easily got a buddy pass, opened up Google Chrome, and played Stadia for himself free of charge. And he doesn't do that. He sits here and he gets into a thread where people are talking facts, spreading falsehoods. And he's one of my followers. He's one of my followers. Why wouldn't he be, right? I ain't been talking about due diligence for the last 2 years. So why not be an MM2K follower and spit a bunch of BS? The service isn't free. The only way to use the service is with $10 per month subscription. There is no $10 a month. There is none. You paid for the controller. You paid for the Chromecast Ultra. They gave you a $10 discount. They gave you 3 months of the service for free. They gave you a code for a friend to get 3 months for free. That's it. But you want to hop in a thread where facts are being spread. Why not be an MM2K follower? So I kindly reply. I say Dave. No, I didn't say Dave. I wanted to. I said, that's not the context of Tom's tweet, though. I ignored all that. Because you're not going to bring me in the weeds. My kids try to do it all the time. That's not the context of Tom's tweet. Tom specifically mentions paying $10 a month as a flaw with the service now. Stadia apologists always say it's essentially a beta. Oh, great, a beta that costs $130 and then $10 a month should what we call Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5. What? I said, again, that's not the context of Tom's tweet. Tom specifically mentions paying $10 a month as a flaw with the service now. This highlights his ignorance as you don't pay $10 a month for anything. The pay-for service was given to founders and premier owners for free. After that free evaluation period, you don't have to pay to stay on the service. You don't have to pay. So I responded to him. He says, for 3 months, then it's a required $10 a month charge. That $10 is not optional. I respond to him again. It is optional. You can forgo the $10 and go with the 1080 stream option. Nonetheless, what does this have to do with the crux of Tom's point that he got wrong? David continues. Destiny 2 on the Pro version is still a 1080p resolution. RDR2 is 1080p to 1440. The big games don't hit 4K. We were told it were through the paid subscription. Might as well just play those games locally. That's now he sees the errors of his ways, and now he gets it. MM2K is staying on the facts. I may not agree with him. He welcomes everybody, agree with him or not, insults and all. However, I have to stick to the facts. Now David gets it. But you see how hard we had to turn to get there. When it comes to visuals, frame rate helps a lot more tremendously than res, I reply. Alone for many. I particularly rather game on a 1440p monitor at 144 Hz than 4K 30 any day. And on the console that he's praising, that he says is so great, you may get resolutions that are closer to 4K. They're not all true 4K, but they're closer to 4K than what Stadia is offering now in some cases. However, you get better performance. To where many people that are familiar with higher frame rates say that for visual performance, for visual fidelity, frame rates play a big role, and they mean a lot more to people than resolution do. Okay. David obviously is not one used to that. He's used to solely playing on a console. His verbiage in this thread indicates that. He's going to sit there and tell me, no, I game on a PC. He might send me some, but nobody that games on a PC that does so more than twice can tell me that frame rates provided by PC, the higher frame rates provided by a PC, don't do a lot better for visuals than resolution. Now, we're not talking about textures, we're talking about resolution. Okay? So it's sunken in for Dave. He says, I may be wrong, as I've been in a couple of spots on this thread, but isn't the maximum for Stadia 60 frames per second? And my final point to David is, it's the max right now. And most titles hit that max more frequently than console. Hence why I play it second to my PC. So, here's my point, people. From Tom Warren to homies like Dave, we have too many people that are riding a wave of misinformation. I propose that everybody that is a fan of this platform, we band together and we find a way to, in some type of uniform fashion, continue to pump out great Stadia. I don't care how many followers you have. I don't care if you got 5 followers. I don't care if you got 5,000 followers. We all need to band together to combat this muck. I'm part of a DM. I'm not going to show you guys that because I have some integrity. I'm part of a DM. It's a console war DM. And again, like I tell you all the time, I don't mind it because that's how I started on this platform. I've been groomed on it. And I actually think it's an attribute to be able to battle people that are good and sounding knowledgeable about what they say, regardless of how false it is. It's great that I've come up in this console war platform because it's sharpened my skills and make me better at being able to do that. I'm not where I want to be at yet, but now I'm better equipped to deal with those situations. So there's a plus to it. With that being said, I'm in a console war. What's it called? I'm in a console war DM, and we go back and forth all the time, and we have a lot of. It's fun to me. It's fun to me. I've never really had a moment where I was like, oh, I can't. I don't get like that. Some people may. I don't get like that. Again, I come up in a family where my uncles, they tease me all the time, and the only way to get them to stop was to tease them harder. You know what I'm saying? And once I got better at teasing them than they were at teasing me, then that's how I earn a respect. A lot of people didn't grow up like that, but I did. So hold on one second. Sorry about that. A lot of people didn't grow up like that, but I did. So, and I grew up like that, and I was able to weather the storm, right? Now, I don't mind. So in this DM, I had two funny occurrences. I'm known as the Stadia Stan. That's what they call me. Because what people don't realize, and again, people don't put their thinking caps on, but that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. They think that their particular threads determine everything that's being spoke about on Twitter. That's what they truly think. They think that everything that happens on their particular threads is the same thing that everybody sees on Twitter. They don't understand that this is social media, and because it's social media, content is curated to the stuff that you like. Okay? Now, here's what I did. So here's what I'm going to show you guys something. Let me do this. So one funny thing that happened is somebody in that DM said, MM2K, you're full of crap. Nobody cares about Stadia. You're the only person who cares about Stadia. He said, Kevin Henderson. What's up, Kevin Henderson? He said, it's Stadia works here. Hey, fantastic. I'm glad that it works. Because it's a great platform, and it may not work for everybody, but that's cool. Just like everybody can't run an Xbox, can't run a console. You know what I'm saying? Why may they? Oh, no. I won't say run a console, but everybody can't utilize an Xbox One X. Why can't they? Because them paying $500 for a console and they don't have a 4K TV is silly. The super sampling is great, but it's super sampling at 1080. Like, come on now. Again, we're talking about up-reses and resolution. So it doesn't make sense for somebody that just has 1080 TVs in their house, no 4K TVs, to pay $500 for an X. Doesn't make any sense. I can get Stadia for $130 right now and don't have to pay a dime towards the subscription service, right? So this person in this DM said, MM2K, you're the only one talking about Stadia that cares about it, that likes it. You're embarrassing yourself. They were telling me this while I was playing Borderlands 3. So I was kind of like going back and forth, but they were messing with my gameplay. And I was going back and forth with them, but I had to ignore them for a little bit so I can finish my game. Because I was having a good time playing Borderlands 3 on Stadia, right? So this is what they did. They typed in Stadia into the search bar, and then they scrolled down, right? And they went through all of the Stadia comments by doing that. And this like kind of is a negative tweet. And then I wrote a comic about PlayStation and Google Stadia. What is it now? Stadia? And you know, it says Stadia, you're lagging again. You know what I mean? So that's a negative tweet. And someone take away from, I think, if not everyone agrees on, no one wants you, Stadia, go away, right? Bro, I'm not going to buy Stadia at the Game Awards. Look at that. Stadia up to 4K 60, right? Look at that tweet right there. There's a Stadia advertisement. There's another Stadia advertisement. For me, what the blank Stadia was, that was over before it started. After a bumpy launch, Stadia goes for, here goes, speaking of the Verge, forges ahead by adding indie developer Typhoon. Man, I knew input delay on Stadia was rough, but yikes. And look at this. This is somebody with a blue check mark next to them. And this came out yesterday. Hey, let's do this live. Let's do this live on air. Let's see here. I knew Stadia. I knew input was rough, but yikes. Let me see here. Let's see if we can get another ban here. Then buy from Epic. Epic Facts. I'll put Epic Facts. We're doing this live, y'all. Check this out. We're doing this live. Epic Facts also. Are you sure that the input lag and performance overall is worse than console? Console. Hint. Don't die on this sword. I have footage that shows otherwise. My friend. Let's see what he says. Who is this guy? I don't even know who this is. Gathialon. He's director of content for GSX event. I don't even know who this guy is. Borderlands Com. I don't know. Some guy that plays Borderlands. I guess he's a big time YouTuber. He got 326,000 followers. And he's another one based upon the outrage culture. But again, they're not based. These people are not based upon facts. Okay, so then you do that. So that's what my friend in the DM did. He did that. He simply just put in Stadia and got all those negative comments. However, if you put in hashtag Stadia, you get this. You get a lot of positive stuff. You get a lot of positive videos. Eddie Gomez. What's up, Eddie Gomez? Stadia Daily. Me. Oh, here we go. Stadia Dosage. Stadia Arcadia. Games move on. Once again, I'm blown away by the technical wizards at Google Stadia. VGC Google Stadia acquires the journey. You get all this positive news opposed to the muck that we saw from people that evidently do not play the platform. They don't play it. They're going off of another person's emotions. So after I got done playing my game of Borderlands, I went back in the DMs and I posted all this. And you know what they said to me? Oh, I'm amazed. It's scary. It's scary. No, what's scary is your inability to do due diligence. I want to shake these people sometimes because I know some of these people personally, and they have very promising lives. Like they're doing good for themselves in their personal life. I don't know. Maybe it's just a stress release for them to come to social media and just bloviate and throw out BS. I don't do that. Maybe I care too much about other people to where I don't want to do that. I want people to be informed. I don't care about people liking what I like. I want people to be informed. And if you like what I like after you've been informed, fine. If not, fine. I'm still going to like it regardless. So maybe it's my personal concern for people that I don't just bloviate and follow another person's emotions. I find out things myself. Ruckus214 said, I hope this isn't true. He said, my Stadia caught on fire and burned my house down yesterday. I hope that isn't true, Ruckus. I don't want to laugh. I hope that isn't true. I hope you're just joking. Because here's what I'll say to that. Before Stadia came out, my youngest son, had wanted a Chromecast. He didn't know why. He just wanted a Chromecast. He didn't even understand how the unit works. So we got him a Chromecast. What I discovered with Chromecast is you cannot let them sit on a surface because they get hot. And I remember that there was a lot of reports that people's Stadias were burning down, or people's Chromecasts were burning down. Stadia can't burn down as an operation. It's an application, rather. People were upset because their Stadias were burning down, where they really meant their Chromecast Ultras were burning down, and they were trying to blame Stadia. And what it is if you have a Chromecast and you have it sitting on a flat surface, it gets real hot. And my son had a tendency of doing that. And I told him, you got to let it dangle. You can't sit it on a flat surface. He didn't listen. And so we just took it back. We're like, this is dangerous because one day he's going to burn this all down. I mean, that thing got like hot. You could fry a damn egg on that. So okay. Ruckus 214. I'm glad you were just playing around. I'd hate to, that'd be very tragic if that did happen, But yeah, just for awareness, if you have a Chromecast Ultra or Chromecast in general, do not lay them on a flat surface. It conducts heat for some reason. It gets real hot. And Google should work on that because that's very dangerous. Because people don't know that. When you look at a Chromecast Ultra, it looks so shiny on the one side. It looks like you're supposed to sit it down. It looks real pretty and you're supposed to sit it down. No, you're not. You got to let it dangle. I'm not trying to be perverse here, but you got to let it dangle. Okay? All right. With that said, so that person said that. It's scary. And again, what's scary is, that people that do well for themselves in their personal lives come here, they're ired or they're ire-loathed or loved by the community, and they hit send before doing their due diligence. It's just it's not part of my DNA. One, because I care about people being informed. Two, because of my tenure, my career. I have a 22 plus career as an analyst / a jack of all trades. And I had to double, quadruple, triple, I had to go through my QC methods 1,000 times over. If I didn't, it would be catastrophic for my business line. So I'm used to double checking and triple checking stuff. And I've been doing that for 20 plus years. So because of that, maybe that's why I'm real impartial to people just being cold hard sticklers for misinformation. And then when they get slapped with the truth, they're like, oh, wow, that was scary. But this person, I love him to death. I just want to grab him sometimes and shake him like, wake the hell up. I know you're smarter than this. Stop it. But I still love him. That was person one. Person two, this person, I don't get this person. Look, man, I love everybody in that DM. I have no problems with anybody. I love everybody in that DM. There's just some people though. And again, when you're doing what I've learned, which isn't a big shocker, I knew this, but man, the wonders of the internet connects you to a lot of people that you normally wouldn't know. And you're dealing with a lot of entities and personalities and people that do stuff that are common, maybe where they're from, part of their culture, but can be mind-boggling to you, can be like a culture shock. And I don't mean at a racial level. I just mean at a communicative and just an everyday standpoint level. I went through a lot of culture shock here. The things that I just thought were, regardless of political affiliation, race, color, sex, that there's just some no-nos here, and this is what you do. You find a lot of people that's the complete opposite for them. And one thing that I find is that to a lot of people, I guess in a lot of cultures, lying is okay. To a lot of people, lying is fine. It's okay to lie. It's okay to lie every day. It's okay to lie for no reason. I don't understand that. It bothers me. I may withhold information because it's personal and I feel like people may not know. So I may not disclose information. But I'm not going to lie. Just tell you it's none of your business. Or I'm not going to elaborate on that. But to a lot of people in this profession, lying is okay. Lying is so cool. And maybe they're living up some fantasy, but that's not just it. I'm still trying to understand the psychology around it. I'm trying to wrap my head around it. Because a lot of it isn't beneficial to anybody. They're lying just to lie. LXIV says, it truly is scary seeing how willfully ignorant some people are. So many people tend to be over brand loyalty or acceptance. Absolutely. But I get a lot of that, LX, because what it is it's a console war thing. So it's like rooting for your favorite team. And if you have a team rival, you're not going to go to the other team and be like, yeah, you guys did great and we stunk it up today. No, you're going to still talk that smack. So I get that part of it. I may not wholeheartedly agree with it, but I get it. It's just, you can't argue everything. It is what it is. But when people get into it, look, if somebody's having a discussion about something I'm not familiar with, I'm mute. Because if I don't understand something, that's my opportunity to learn. It's not my opportunity to be an armchair quarterback hopping into discussion that I know nothing about. Because how am I growing? How am I contributing anything? I always, you know what? I look at life, and I hate to turn this into like a Hallmark show or something like that, but I look at life every day as an opportunity for me to grow or for me to present myself in a light to help other people grow. I truly appreciate that aspect of life. Always have and always will. I may get older, my bones may get more brittle, my mind might slip and fade away. But one thing I've always have, since I can remember, that I have to this day, that I know I will have until my final day, is that I have an appreciation for what I can gain and what I can contribute every day. And none of that happens when you engage in a conversation where you don't know what the hell you're talking about, but you bloviate and you just throw a whole bunch of stuff out there. That's an opportunity for you to shut the hell up and listen. Gamers Hugh Hometown, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. It says, all my friends say Stadia stuck when they've never tried it. Absolutely. But you're going to get that because Gamers Hometown, people want to belong. So you're going to get Stadia sucks. Why does it suck? Well, I heard. That don't make any sense. Again, what I tell them, Gamers Hometown, is like, oh, well, I'm glad that you need somebody else to bite your sandwich and tell you it tastes good. Not me. Not me. I get people that come to me and say, MM2K, I heard this about Stadia. Check this out. And this should be why you don't play the platform anymore. So what they're doing is on top, they're literally biting the sandwich that I've tasted after the fact and telling me, that sandwich that you said was good, I didn't like it, and here's why you shouldn't like it. And they're not giving me more information. Oh, the sandwich was made at a toxic waste site. It was made from Soylent Green, which is made of people. They're not telling me any of that. They're telling me the same stuff that I already know, but they're trying to convince me based upon their personal likes why I shouldn't like it. Or they're telling me false stuff. That sandwich had cheese in it. It didn't have no damn cheese, and I checked the sandwich. There's no cheese. Well, so-and-so said it had cheese. I ate the damn sandwich. There is no cheese in it. Get the hell out of here. I go through that all the time, Gamer Hometown. So that's why I use a scenario. Well, I'm glad you feel that way, but I'm not someone that has to have another grown man or another grown woman bite a sandwich that I know I already like. You can feel the way that you feel. I don't run off another person's emotions. I've played it personally and I love it. Because there's people that I've dealt with that have talked smack like that, Gamers Hometown. They've got buddy passes, got access to it, and then they can't deny the performance. But then they may fade back to their preference and say, I don't like it because I don't like the lineup. And that's fine. It's not for you, but at least you know the performance is there. So when the lineup does become for you in 2020, now you know what you're dealing with. You get better performance on a web browser. On a web browser than you do a $500 console. I'm playing Borderlands at 60 frames per second on a web browser. Where on my $500 console, the richest console, the most powerful console in the world, it's struggling to hit 25 frames per second in performance mode. In performance mode. Amazing. So that's how I look at it. Gamer's hometown, but enjoy. Yeah, I love it, man. I love it. I love it. And Stadia, even though they're being stealth, they did a lot of headway by doing a lot of cool stuff like breaking these games out and then releasing some features. So they just got to do more. They got to do more. People like my homie Duncan that have been very vocal. People like my homie Generation. I forget his name. I think he got the biggest following on YouTube that I'm aware of. What's his name? Generation Station. Hey, yo, bro's the real deal. Generation Stadia. That's his name. Bro's the real deal. He's got him a nice following already with Stadia. I can dig it. But he's been very vocal. He drops videos every day. He's been very vocal. So this isn't like the console community where we just love and praise our thing over anything that happens. No. And that's why I appreciate this community as well. It's one of the better communities out there. That being said, that was one story that I had where the person, nobody's talking about Stadia. And then I had to do hashtag Stadia and say, no, you just follow the bloviators. You just follow the jackasses and the people that don't know what they're talking about. The hyperbolic crew. The people full of rhetoric. I follow the thinkers. I follow the due diligence doers. Okay. Second story is, again, you get people that just lie just to lie. There's one person actually got Stadia, right? Got it. Couldn't deny the performance. But because they're known for promoting another platform, come up with content pretty much contradicting what they've been saying behind the scenes. I'm not going to expose them. They got to deal with that. They got to deal with that. You know, they went beyond just commenting on Stadia's lineup and tried to make up some stuff on performance, which was a flat out lie. So I came back to him. I said, you were full of BS in your videos, but I can dig it. I get why you do it. But here's the kicker. So as I'm talking to some of these people in the DM that do like Stadia and I'm giving them information, I get a lot of people that come back to me and say, oh, Stadia is this and Stadia is that. And I'm like, whatever. You know, I find it's all in fun and games, right? Like they repeat, I'm on a show every week called Scram Punks. Check it out. It's a great show. And they were teasing me. They were like, oh yeah, you're going to do an interview with a Stadia person. And they were like, I was going to do the interview with myself and I was going to change my voice, right? So this one person that got to the platform, enjoyed it, but then wasn't honest and fruitful in the content they provided, had made a comment because I was saying some positive stuff about Stadia. Borderlands 3 is out and all this other stuff, right? So because of that, I went and checked their performance on Stadia and checked their performance on Xbox. And I realized that all week they weren't on Xbox, but every day they was on Stadia. Oh, that's because, somebody else was playing Stadia. But how come they're not playing Xbox? If my wife, and she just came up here, if my wife said to me, y'all, you know what, MM2K? The spaghetti that you make is nasty. Don't you ever waste the ingredients in the house to make the spaghetti ever again. I'd rather eat something else. And let's just say our refrigerator is stuffed to the T. But every time I come around the corner, she's sitting there eating my spaghetti. I'm going to say, sweetheart, I love you, but you're a fraud. I love you, but you're a fraud. She's going to punch me when I get off here for saying that, right? But I'm doing that as an example, sweetheart. I say that to say this. If you're creating content, if behind the scenes you want to sit there and say that Stadia is garbage, but every day we check and Stadia is being played in your house, and the other console that you cap for hasn't been turned on at all, not even to do an update, then you're frauding. Period. And it may be okay with you, but understand it's not okay with me. So there's a sublet of people on social media that like to fraud, that like to be false about stuff, and that's fine. And I'll roll with them and play the game with them. But when I'm serious, I'm serious. I love spreading information because I love to learn. And when you try to cut off my avenue of learning, I get very agitated. And that's why you guys see me sometimes get on social media, and I won't do it in a vulgar way, but in so many words, I chop them down to size. And that's what I plan to do here on this platform. On the Stadia Dosage platform, when I do these podcasts, anybody that does not come with facts, that just bloviates and makes up stupid stuff like Tom Warren, I don't care how many numbers that he has next to his name, I'm going to do what he had to do today. I'm going to make him block me because he can't deal with the truth. So I say that to say this before I close out, everybody. The popular thing to do is to kick us around. Any of us that like Stadia. And again, Stadia is not my number one platform. It's still PC. But I love the mobility of Stadia. Right? If we can band together in some shape, form, or fashion, promote each other, and help each other grow to spread this information, it'll do the platform a lot better. Because I will say that one thing that is very disappointing is the outreach verbally that Stadia is doing. It's not great. I don't like their commercials. I don't like their communication. It's bad. And it's not prepared for the crap storm that's ahead of them. But if we like this platform and we want to secure its durability through the times, we can criticize Google for when they're falling short, but we can also spread the word. So that's what I would like to do here. And anybody that loves Stadia, people in the chat, if you ever want to join, anything like that, just message me. I have an open door policy. Just message me. You can DM me on Stadia Dosage or DM MM2K, whatever you want to do. Come on, come one, come all. This is not about me getting a whole bunch of followers so I can do. It's not about that. This is a different platform than that. Okay? So with that said, I want to thank everybody to the pilot episode of the Stadia Stream Connect podcast, where we highlight everything Stadia. And with that said, I want to thank everybody that has talked in the chat. Homer Gamertown, Homer XLIV. I know that's Roman for some type of numeral, but I'm old, man. So you got to bear with me. Ruckus 214, and everybody else that has been watching. I appreciate all of y'all. And until next time, y'all know the slogan. Have a wonderful, wonderful gaming day. Peace.